4,000 days. I never thought I'd make it this far, but here we are. In this video, I will be transforming my first ever stronghold to go from this to something that's much nicer. But there's something I need to do first. And I guess the first thing I want to do is physically transform this entire portal room to actually look like a portal room. Also, since my last video, I have switched to Lunar Client just in case you're wondering about that. And also, to transform this entire portal room, I'm going to need quite a few materials to do so. However, I'm going to hold back on gaining those materials until I've mined out this whole entire area, so let me quickly do that. You know what, might as well dig into my tubers as well. I'm mining this out. What does it say? I'm paper recycle me. I paper recycle me. Okay, now the whole area is mined out, and yes, there was a bit of a cut, and I know I'm not in the same area, I'm in a storage room, but that's only to collect the materials needed, because we need tons of materials for this project, such as black concrete, 2,466. Okay, it's a lot less than what this storage room required, but still, it's a lot of black concrete. But I also need a bunch of other materials like end rods, black stained glass, and I just don't have a way to get black dye easily. So I'm gonna make a squid farm. Yes, in order to make this end portal room, I'm gonna need to make a squid farm, which is very simple to do. All you need to do is drain out a river and build a squid farm in there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and find a quick area to essentially make the squid farm. Again, it has to be a river biome, it can't be any other biome, and I don't want it to be too close by, but then again, I don't want it to be too far. But my worry is making it too near more than anything, because if I make it too near, portals will just clash with each other. I actually think over here is actually a good place to put it, because this is a river biome, it's a pretty big one too. So yes, more work for me, but it'll make the farm a bit faster if I make it in a bigger area. So now that I know the place where I'm going to do it, I need to head to the desert to grab a few shulker boxes which have sand in, which I left there for various reasons, mostly because I wanted to drain over there. Second of all, I do plan to make a faster gunpowder farm than the one I've currently got, but I'm procrastinating on it. And also, it's a big area, it's gonna take hours on top of hours to drain out. Also, I could do it over here in the desert. Oh, again, we don't really want it to clash with any portal, and actually over here is pretty close by to over here, and the portal is roughly going to be in the center of here. So yeah, we can actually build it quite near here, that way I don't actually have to transport all these shulker boxes. So I reckon over here is a good place to make the squid farm, and I don't really need to drain out any caves because I'm not going to be putting TNT down here. Yes, I'm going to have to mine this area out a bit for portals, but I don't need to use TNT really. So over here is perfect. So I get to work draining as much river as I think is needed, which most likely means going over here and placing loads of sand. And if I need more sand, don't worry, I'm literally in a desert which is full of sand. Couldn't have worked out more perfectly. But in reality, I'm probably gonna get my gravity block tube up and running for sand if I need more. Okay, so now the whole area has been drained out, and I did take the sponges back to base, and I was just marking out the areas where I know it definitely isn't crossing over to the desert, which I think I've got a big enough space. I definitely have a big enough space to get at least a few squid to spawn, and if need be, I can always drain more water from the surrounding area to make sure that squid are only spawning in my farm. But right now, I'm just going to remove all the sand from the area that I'm going to use, which I think I am done doing that actually. And now I just need to dig out a massive hole. Not the first time I've done it in this video, however it is still annoying to do. And also, you know what, there's no point in me just mining out at normal speed when I could easily take a trip back home, drop a whole load of items off, nick a beacon from my storage room. Yes, I do have a slot dedicated to beacons. Grab one iron ingot, as well as a few iron blocks that I need more, which can be provided at the iron farm. Oh my god, there's actually so much iron in there. I don't need that amount, but it's good to take that amount anyway to be safe. Hello. And I can simply make an iron beacon over here, and we will use this beacon for haste too, which will allow us to instant mine this stone. There we go, that was done quicker than expected, meaning we can tear down this beacon, but we're going to leave the top layer till last so that we have haste for a bit longer, meaning we can break the beacon a bit faster. And there we go, that's the full beacon taken care of. And now I just need a few resources to make this farm. One of those resources happen to be glowstone, which I know where to get some glowstone, and I know, well, first of all, I'm in the place where you can get glowstone. Second of all, I do have a witch farm, so I can just farm glowstone if I need more. I also need some ice, which I would make an elaborate ice farm, but I'll save that for a different video if you get what I mean. This video is just about surviving 4,000 days and not about building farms or anything in particular. I just want to build my end room there, well, end portal room there, just because it will look cool. I do know that I can get some glowstone from in here, 6 pieces of glowstone, but stacks on top of stacks of glowstone dust. chest, which is much better because then they can make tons and tons of glowstone. 6 stacks and 39 glowstone. Probably don't need that much, but might as well take that much. I will also need a bit of obsidian. I'm not too sure how much I'll need, so I'll take a whole load. I'm gonna have to restock that chest by paying a visit to my obsidian farm. And now again, all I need is ice. Yeah, this farm is a very simple farm. Like I said, luckily I know where to get ice from. Whenever I needed ice in the past, I've always went there. There's literally a nice biome in this direction in my hardcore world. Trust me, I know. I've been there multiple times. It's literally right there. My area is right there, you can tell, because that's player made. And ice, tons of it. Again, I am tempted to make an elaborate ice farm, but just mining away for now will do, because you can mine the ice super fast. It's literally instant break. Also, I'm not too sure how much ice I will need, so making an elaborate ice farm in this video just wouldn't make sense. Once I've collected up these bits of ice, I'll say I'm done for collecting ice, and if I need more, I can always go back there. So now I can head back to where I'm gonna build the squid farm and actually build the squid farm. So that's the overworld side of the squid farm done. Well, it'll be done once all the ice has melted, but that will take its time. And now I just need to find the AFK spot. I determined around here is the center of the farm, so I need to head. So this right here is the center of the despawn sphere, and then not sphere, and I needed the farm to be on the edge of it, which, as you can see, the despawn sphere is quite a big sphere. So essentially I need to head more in this direction. I reckon about here is where the AFK spot can be. However, I am wrong. It has to be 15 blocks forward right here. And to double check this, we're gonna configure set here, and the whole entire farm should be in there. Yeah. Okay, so I popped a totem, I fell down, popped a totem, and I'm just trying to make squid spawn in my squid farm because something's not working. Let's grab another one out. Yeah, you see why I've got tons of totems now. So yeah, I fixed the squid not spawning issue, but now squid can spawn down there and down there, so I'm gonna have to do more draining. But that's all the tedious issues sorted. I'm gonna build a bridge over to where the portal was. My only assumption is that there were caves with water filled in that classed as river biomes, which is extremely weird. They shouldn't be classing as river biomes, but they are classing as river biomes, I'm assuming. And that is why no squids are spawning, because they were spawning in the caves. So this method will allow the squid to spawn in the farm, not in the caves. So I ended up not AFKing there for long. And don't mind me, it's just getting dark outside and I was using the outside light. And as you can see, I've got all these stained glass I need, all the concrete I need, and now I've just got some chorus fruit smelting upstairs to become popped chorus fruit, and I'm wanting to find a place for this chorus fruit. I don't want it to go to waste or into the overflow chest where I'm never going to find it again, so I'm going to put it in the chest in the slot side slash not black but ink sacks even, but it turns out I've already got clay there, but there's no clay in the item frame to give me that indication for some reason, so let's fix that, and let's put all the rest of the chorus fruit I got into here with the chorus flowers. Now just need a few blaze rods to make the end rods, which the blaze rods are in this chest, cheater, not any other chest. By the time I get upstairs, all of the chorus fruit should have become popped chorus fruit, theoretically speaking. Well, not all of it, but most of it has, at least. And I wasn't too sure on how many. Yeah, you get more. That's good to know, and that's more than any. I literally only need a stack and a bit. I also got all the obsidian needed for this project. There is quite a bit of obsidian needed for portals and all that. So stack on 46 end rods. There we go. That's all the end rods needed. And now I have plenty of end rods if I want to use the end rods again. I also need 24 sea lanterns, which I've got plenty left over from this build. This build required over 800 sea lanterns, by the way, and I've got plenty left over, don't worry. And basically, the plan is to have a row of end rods coming from a sea lantern. Like, somehow all the sea lanterns in that room are connected via the end rods. I don't know, I thought it was a cool design. 8 crying obsidian, which I've got plenty of crying obsidian. So just leave this shulker here to fill. And all I'm missing now is 9 iron blocks and 1 beacon, which is very easy to get actually. I've got those in my storage room too. Boom, there we go. So these are all the materials needed to build this. Except But that's what I would say if I was a complete and utter idiot, which I actually am, by the way. I need a few bits of obsidian and I need more TNT, which is easily craftable. I've got sand over here now. Literally in this chest, got plenty of sand to go out, as well as plenty of gunpowder to craft more TNT. Shouldn't need more than that. If I need more than that, then I'm obviously dumb. Well, I already am obviously dumb. You get the point. I'll be more dumber than I already am. I also need pistons, which I can get from, I believe, in my overflow chests. I've got some pistons, but I might not at the same time. I do have trapdoors, and I will need trapdoors. Oh, I do have pistons. I also want to make sure I've got enough pistons, just in case any pistons go through the portal, cause this could happen. Because that's right, I'm going to attempt to remove the end portal frames from around the portal locks. I know things are likely to go wrong. If anything about today is going to go wrong, it's this part. Basically, to break the end portal frames, and now all I'm going to do is place obsidian around the underside of these, as well as underneath and on top of the portal, so that no TNT goes through. I'm just going to place some obsidian around. Now it is time to break the end portal frames. So I'm going to start off by going here, placing a piston, obsidian, cobblestone, and 2 TNT. I'm going to use Tweakaroo to help me make this faster using the fast right click option. Now I'm going to do that, click this lever, turn on fast right click, come over here and hold down right click. And as you can see, it has broken this end portal frame. And I now need to do it a load more times. That is 2 more done. And you know what? Instead of time lapsing the rest of it, if I just quickly come down here and then look down here and say in 3, 2, 1, and then if I am to look up, as you can see, all the obsidian is gone and all the end portal frames have been removed. Yes, I hope you like that transition. Now a few bits of obsidian did go through here, same with the piston, easily gainable again. Gainable? Is that even a word? Gainable? Nonetheless, I'm just gonna drop all of this stuff off here and jump through here, which will take me back to my respawn point, which is fine. Before you say, oh, due to you can't respawn because you're in hardcore, well, whenever you jump through the end return portal, you always go back to your respawn point. Please don't comment anything like that, because otherwise I'll call you stupid in the comment section. This feels so weird compared to what I'm used to. Okay, let's see the schematic. There's going to be black concrete on the bottom of it, which will definitely help the fog effect. So all the glass has been placed down, so I'll be digging into this shulker box now, as well as the other black concrete one. So I reckon I do this little obsidian island over here, because I thought it would look cool to have at least one in here for like decoration. Maybe I'll add another one here later on. So I'm going to build up and place obsidian where there needs to be obsidian. And then we're going to place end rod there, end rod there, end rod there, and end rod there, then one here, and I believe there might be one around here. No, there isn't. So I reckon what I do next is do the under the portal bit. So it's going to start off by polished deep slate there and end rod there. Then we're going to have polished deep slate stairs like that, and deep slate brick slabs on there, and that's basically it. Very simple design and was very easy to just create. Now we are just going to essentially try not to go into this portal and make a pattern like this, which might help if I go ahead and place all the sea lanterns in first, and then all the deep slate brick stairs. Oh, there we go, I fell in. It was bound to happen. Oh, and I didn't set my respawn point there, so in other words, I'll go back to my base. Yeah, you know what, let's quickly sleep this night away so that no phantoms will spawn. And I can't go through the nether yet, meaning I have to fly there. Luckily I know where it is in the overworld. It's just annoying to get to there, you know. It shouldn't be. I shouldn't have to do it, but I'm doing it anyway. It was bound to happen though. I should have expected it. I haven't marked where the hole is, luckily, back when I first originally lost it, because I did lose at one point, but then found it again and made sure to mark it. And I know at one point I had water down here, but I don't anymore, and that was basically a death trap. And then right around here, down here, beautiful. Anyway, I'm also going to remove all this black concrete because that's not part of the schematic. As you can see, it's supposed to be air here. Making sure I've got my respawn point set there for cases like that. And before any of you say anything about respawn points, again, if I was to jump through here, it would take me back to my bed, aka my respawn point. There we go. And now I'm gonna do this, essentially make the pathways that go to the portals. And I didn't need 4 portals. However, it does look much more cooler with 4 portals. And those are the pathways in. I'm gonna grab the obsidian and place in the portals. And I already know that the portal that's gonna go here will link up perfectly to the nether side. There we go. And then hop on back through. It should link to the portal. Yes, it does. And then these might link to random portals, and I'll try to create new portals in the world, which I don't really mind, but hopefully they link to the main one. But I'm not going to test it in case something happens. Also, I can link off these bottom sea lanterns up where there's a nether portal, so that I know that I've already done said nether portal. Also, right here needs to be a sea lantern. Same here. And there's going to need to be a nether portal right here. So let's get this one up. And finally, this nether portal. Now to attach these together. Now, essentially, I put a little bit of the portal here. I don't know what this is necessarily called, but it just makes it look nicer, in my opinion at least. You might think it looks way more uglier, but I think it looks nicer. As over here is going to be iron blocks and then a beacon up here. And if we place our stairs like this, we can then add the cobbled deep slate around it. We'll dig up once I'm done, but then we'll add end rods in each of the corners. And yes, I did miss end rods over here. And also deep slate bricks can be placed on the bottom of these sea lanterns because they look out of place otherwise, I feel like. But that's my opinion. And there we go. That's the main part of the build done. However, we still need to place in all the black concrete, so I'm going to take as much black concrete as I can and just fill all of this. Now the roof is going to be a bit tricky to do because I didn't leave myself enough space. Yeah, and now on my behalf. And also I'm gonna have to leave that hole open. I guess what I'll do is try to cover up as much as I possibly can, you know, from where I am. And then the rest I'm gonna try to do from here. If need be, I can always grab some scaffolding, or better yet, use some of this black concrete as temporary blocks, then break it once I'm done with it. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to have to do. And then I'll go around the outside with black concrete, then dig a hole to the hole as one block to the side. But that don't really matter because now we're going to dig a hole so that the beacon beam can go up. However, I think what a wiser idea would be is if we were to take these coordinates, break this bed, go into the end, purposefully this time, come back out at spawn, and then fly all the way to the quads that I noted down. So I need to dig down about here-ish, which means draining more water. However, it's just essentially 2 blocks of water that I needed to drain. And all I'm going to do is dig down, and theoretically I should land on top of the beacon. There we go. And there is the whole room complete. And now, although the things do need repairing, I'm going to go to the end, disable the mob search in the end. But it did an endermite spawn. That's crazy, that. And then all I'm going to do is lower the render distance, and that's everything fully repaired. And then we're going to place that ender pearl back, go back to the overworld, then I'm going to drop all of this off, and I'm essentially going to end the video here because I don't know what else to do in this video, and I'm probably just going to AFK out farm for the rest of today whilst I figure out what's wrong with my Minecraft memory, because as you can see it's at 63%, it was at 99% earlier. I had to close and relaunch the game, and it's never spiked up this high before, so yeah, I'm going to figure out what's wrong with it. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. As the sun sets on my world, that has been 4,000 days in hardcore Minecraft.